iOS and Android.
Now at 6, Missouri has some encouraging news for families that rely on the WIC program. Plus, voters in Chanute will soon head to the polls to decide a new sales tax. And
transportation can be the barrier between the life that you have and the life that you want. And Higher Power Garage is working to solve that. I'm Ty Parks and I have the story of how they're helping 9 people coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri WIC families get some reassurance today their benefits will continue at least a bit longer. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. The state confirms Missouri WIC benefits will extend into November despite federal funding challenges. In a news release, the state says cost-saving measures Missouri implemented at the beginning of October have allowed the state to extend the benefits to WIC families a bit longer than originally projected. The Missouri WIC program provides supplemental food, health care referrals, nutrition education, and breastfeeding support to qualifying women, infants, and children up to age 5. Fathers, grandparents, guardians, and foster parents may also apply for benefits for the children living in their households. According to the release, Missouri WIC families are encouraged to continue to attend appointments and redeem benefits using their WIC cards until further notice. Thousands of people in southwest Missouri receive WIC benefits. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services says in 2024, WIC benefits went to 1,100 people in Vernon County, more than 500 in Barton County, more than 5,000 people in Jasper County, more than 2,300 in Newton County, and nearly 1,400 people in McDonald County. This holiday season, families all across the 4 states face some tough choices about putting food on the table. That shutdown that's coming up on Friday, forcing a lot of people to go to their local pantries. Our 4 states pantries are working harder than ever to meet the growing needs of our neighbors. We're kicking off our Feed the 4 States campaign early this year to help. All you have to do is scan this QR code and your donation will go to a food pantry near you. Next week, voters in Chanute, Kansas will decide whether to approve a new sales tax aimed at boosting the local economy. City leaders say the 0.15% city sales tax would fund the Chanute Regional Development Authority, which helps recruit and retain local businesses. Mayor says the measure is separate from the quarter-cent sales tax renewed in 2023, and that passing it is vital to the city's continued growth and development. If approved, the new sales tax would begin in April of 2026 and last for 5 years. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be kind of a nasty day outside today. We had the wind, we had the drizzle, the showers during the morning hours. Temps into the 40s, mainly upper 40s all day long, and it's still windy. We still have these north winds 10 to 20, but at times we're getting gusts 30, 35 miles per hour. So it is on the windy side. Thankfully, these winds are going to start to come down a bit as we go through the overnight hours tonight. We clear out, look at this, upper 30s to near 40. Now, I think we'll stay just above that frost level. That may not be the case as we go into tomorrow night, but sunshine returns tomorrow, upper 50s, pretty good Thursday, and then tomorrow night, we back down into the mid 30s. So most likely, we'll at least get some patchy frost in here tomorrow night. Of course, we'll look at Halloween here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Case New Holland is giving Pittsburgh State University's automotive technology program a major boost, donating equipment worth nearly $300,000. The mid-sized tractor is aimed at dairy and livestock operations using methane produced from the livestock as fuel. Representatives from C&H joined students and instructors to celebrate the donation.
Some dealerships you have to be a super high technician in order to even touch this kind of stuff, and I'm just a student here, and then I get to touch the pretty advanced stuff. So it's super advantageous to get this ahead before your career path even starts.
Pitt State hopes to include this tractor along with other vehicles in a new heavy equipment facility which the university is seeking to secure funding for. Having a car can be very important for a lot of reasons. It can be the vehicle to get a person from the life they have to the life they want. KOAM's Ty Parks pulled into the Higher Power Garage in Joplin where they're helping people break some barriers.
Transportation is a barrier that many people have trouble getting across.
Think about it. If you live in Carl Junction or Webb City, and you need a good job, the good paying jobs are in the industrial parks or the commerce centers of the town. Very few low income housing is in those areas. So to get to those jobs is a challenge.
Higher Power Garage has a work program where people can apply to overcome that critical barrier. There are income requirements and classes the person is required to attend. Once a car becomes available, they can buy it for $500.
What we're doing is trying to build a sustainable system for these families to where they no longer have transportation as a barrier, so that they can get the good jobs that have the good benefits that provide for their families the way they need to be provided for.
Amber Cross is one of the families receiving a car today. She tells KOM what life was like without a car.
It's been a process. So for the last 9 years, it's been off and on, where I've only had a car, I think, twice through the process. And then just working with building bridges and having my support team is what led me to get to Higher Power Garage to get a car. Yes, and even just going on outings is going to be a big deal. Instead of walking with the kids, it's going to be a big deal just going to a park or just going to walking trails.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Although they don't cost much, Higher Power Garage says they require the cars to be purchased to give a sense of ownership to the buyers. The Webb City volleyball team punches their ticket to state. Ryan has a preview of the Cardinals' quest for dynasty status. That's coming up. But up first, dressing for the occasion.
Halloween's approaching fast, but it's not too late to get a costume. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll show you where you can go coming up.
Halloween's approaching pretty quickly now, but there is still time to get a costume. KOAM's Kenny Foreman gives us an inside look at a one-stop shop for all your spooky needs.
For the past 25 years, Spooky Jake's here in Pittsburgh has opened its doors to partygoers and trick-or-treaters of all ages looking for last-minute costumes and accessories for an affordable price.
The last month has been the whole season, but it's been pretty steady. It's like most seasonal businesses, the closer you get to Halloween, people understand they have to go get their costume, or they need to go find the accessories for their costume.
Having a place where Halloween items are easily accessible for an entire month is important, especially when you consider that there's no such thing as too old for Halloween.
The university's having lots of different Halloween type functions. We see a lot of students come through, or if the schools are having different Halloween parties, we see those customers come through. And then there's a lot of adult parties where adults are coming through to buy their wigs.
And a supportive staff makes it even easier for people to find what they're looking for.
The people that run the place are very friendly. They helped us out a lot with the door decals and with the cost and stuff. And honestly, everything's really cheap and the selection is just outstanding.
Being that Halloween is a seasonal business, the store aims to make sure its customers remember the name year after year.
Our goal is to be able to sell more and make more profit, but most importantly bring the selection to the customer so they know where they want to come next year when they start their shopping process for Halloween or items to help them celebrate Halloween.
In Pittsburgh, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Spooky Jake's will remain open through Halloween. It's operated by Jake's Fireworks. That business sells seasonal items during Memorial Day, the 4th of July, of course, and Christmas. A little bit later, the Gorillas take on their cross-state neighbors this weekend. Ryan has a preview of the matchup against the Lions.
And we know it's cold outside, it's windy outside, but the sun's going to return. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a little bit of a crummy day for us today. It was windy. It felt winterish outside. We had the drizzle. We had showers during the morning hours. High temp was only 49 degrees. And that's a big switch from 2 weeks ago when we were soaring through the 80s into the upper 80s. We still have the clouds out there right now. Still a little bit of drizzle. This will continue to down tick as we go through the next several hours, which is good, but it's still windy, and this is going to stick around this evening, but this will also start to drop over the next few hours. So we have sustained winds, 10 to 20 And then we've been getting gusts 35, 36, 37 miles per hour at times. And again, thankfully, the winds will start to drop off slowly through the night, and a much lighter breeze for us tomorrow, kind of a northwest wind, kind of 10 to about 15 miles per hour. All right, let's go through time. What's going to happen? Clouds break later on tonight. There may be a little bit of patchy fog late tonight when the winds calm down just a bit, but upper 30s to near 40. I think we're going to stay right above that frost level, which is good. May not be the case as we get into tomorrow night. All right, so for us tomorrow by noon, we should be into lower 50s. Let me take you to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon near a high temperature. Sunshine, light wind, about 58, which is a pretty good Thursday. Tomorrow night, this is when we could get some patchy frost. Temperatures down into the mid 30s for overnight lows. At the surface, you drop a little bit lower. And then as we go into Friday, which is Halloween, we start to get some clouds late, but a pretty good Halloween. Lower 60s for highs. Let me take you into the evening hours. So I stopped this at about 7:30. Trick-or-treating going on, mid 50s, pretty good. May get a few showers in here after midnight and into Saturday morning. It's a fairly weak system. It doesn't have a lot of moisture, but we're going to watch it. All right, 38 start, 58 or 52 by noon, 58 for an afternoon high. Let's jump into Friday evening. Yes, I know it's Halloween, but it's also for state. Friday night high school football, 57 at kickoff, 52 once we get to the fourth quarter of games. All right, so here's the reason it's cold. Look at this north wind right out of Canada, wrapping up behind this storm system that has given us some rain. So watch it as it exits, but here comes that wave that could give us a few showers late Friday night into Saturday. But after this system gets out of here, we get into a little bit of a ridge of high pressure. And what that means for you is nice weather, warmer weather, great fall-like weather as we go through next week. And then another system drops in as we get into next weekend. All right, let's look at your weekend. I'm going to put in a slight chance for a few showers Saturday. And then Sunday we clear out. It's just going to be chilly. High temps into the mid 50s on Sunday. 58 on your Thursday, 62 Halloween, not bad. 60 on Saturday, shower or two. A little bit cooler Sunday, but then look at next week. Upper 60s, mid 70s moving in. So we get a really nice stretch of fall-like weather.
That's nice, I guess. The temps certainly are refreshing.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Pitt State Gorillas are preparing for their big game against Missouri Southern this weekend, but it's also Senior Day. When we return, we're going to hear from one Gorilla senior who gears up for that special day. And the Webb City Cardinals volleyball squad is heading back to the state tournament. We're going to hear from the team coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Scott with Windows.
The dynasty continues for Webb City Volleyball as the Cardinals secured their 5th straight district championship on Tuesday to punch their ticket to state. Tuesday's title-winning performance capped off a dominant tournament showing by the Cardinals. In their 3 matches, Webb City did not lose a set, sweeping Springfield Catholic, Hillcrest, and Carl Junction. For this year's senior core, Avery Gardner, Marley Harper, and Savannah Crane, they're set to finish their high school careers as 4-time district champions.
I don't know that I can take any credit for it besides I try to put the puzzle pieces together the way they need to fit. But, you know, I love working with them, and I've never as a coach had 5 in a row. So it's pretty special. I think it's special for the program. I could not be more proud of my kids.
Being able to do this with my favorite people, my teammates, and for the 5th time in a row, it's almost unbelievable. But we knew we could do it, and we just trusted each other the whole time. But yeah, my emotions are definitely all over the place, but it's a good feeling. It's unlike anything else. Winning a district title every single year that I've been here, there's no grade that's like ours. There isn't. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that we were chosen to be the ones to be in this position and that our teammates love us so much and do it with us and improve with us every single day. So it's just surreal.
Journey to this year's crown has been filled with adversity for Webb City. Prior to the season, the Cardinals lost middle and outside hitter Jaylee Rutledge as the Kansas volleyball commit moved to Oklahoma. But that didn't stop this Webb City squad, as players across the court stepped up, taking on larger roles throughout the season.
We have some very skilled players. It wasn't like we weren't going to be able to win without her. She made it easy a little bit, but we had the talent around her to make us all way better. And so they continued to fight all year long to make sure everybody understood that it was not one player that was Webb City Volleyball. It's always been the full team that puts it together to get all that done.
Really just trusting each other. We leaned on each other so much in a time that we needed to. And it was amazing seeing my teammates improve and seeing how much closer we got together. But we realized like this could be anybody's last day. So we didn't take any day for granted, and we just kept working as hard as we could. So yeah, we miss her, but we know that she's still cheering us on.
The Cardinals take on a familiar opponent in Saturday's state quarterfinal matchup, battling Marshfield. Webb City defeated the Blue Jays in the district title game last season. It is rivalry week for the 9th-ranked Pitt State Gorillas as they take on Missouri Southern. But Saturday is also senior day, with players all over the field being celebrated, including safety Jordan Rogers. Rogers' journey to Pitt State included head coach Tom Anthony, who was the team's defensive coordinator at the time. Following his redshirt freshman season, Anthony left the program for a non-coaching opportunity before returning as head coach last year. Speaking with the Gorillas' two-time all-conference standout, Rogers emphasized the strong bond he shares with Coach Anthony.
Me and Coach A always had a tight bond growing up. Since I came in as a freshman, I did always just want to achieve stuff under him. And then so once he did leave me, it kind of hurt my soul, but I knew I had to do more for him and for this school, Pittsburgh State. So I knew for me staying is doing better for him and also for me. I just knew he always going to come back. So my excitement when he came was like throughout the roof because the relationship between me and him is so close ever since I got here. So I just knew when he did come back, I just had to prevail and make it better for us.
I recruited him out of high school 5 years ago. He's one of my favorite guys I've ever been able to coach. He's exceeded my expectations in his time here, not just as a football player, but to see his growth as a person, from 2-3 years ago to now has been, absolutely incredible just to see how far he's come as a person. I'm probably more proud of that than I am of just seeing where he's at as a football player.
Rogers and the Gorillas eye an 11th straight win over the Lions on Saturday. Kickoff at 2 p.m. from the Jungle at Carney Smith Stadium. Always really cool to see that. Coaches always say, you want to care about the player more than the game, and you can definitely see that in their relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, a lot of alumni from both schools. Maybe they'll fill up Carney Smith this
Absolutely.
weekend. We'll be right back.
Or State Hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOIM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. Businesses in Chanute could get a boost from a proposed sales tax. We're going to have more on the decision voters will face next week. Plus, we're going to have some veterinary advice on keeping your pets healthy during Halloween. And Crowder College Surgical Tech welcomes the kiddos out for trunk or treat. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight. KOIM News at 9 on Fox 14. Doug, it's feeling kind of like Halloween season out there.
It is. It's definitely cold and it's windy, so our wind chill factors all day long today have been into the 30s. Now the drizzle is going to cut off. We're going to see the clouds break up late tonight. Thursday, pretty good day, 58, a little bit chilly, but 62 on Halloween.
People are going to want to bundle up if they're going to be out trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Final sports note.
Yes, we talked about last night, Dow, Mike Pinnell back for the Chiefs, but good injury news. Nick Bolton got an MRI on his knee, no structural damage, so he should be good. Could be limited throughout practice this week, but should be able to go against Buffalo this weekend.
And it looks like Trey Smith might play as well.
Yes, he returned to practice as well in a limited capacity. Hope is to get him back soon, too.
Yes, we certainly hope so. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOIM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.